This time, smile. I shook my head. I have to get home and make something for my uncle to eat tonight while I'm at work, or else he'll get takeout again. She snapped another picture anyway. And what's wrong with takeout? My mom and I eat takeout whenever her shifts run late. It's not good for you? You're starting to fit into this school pretty quickly. She hiked up her skirt the way the popular girls did. Cheese curls? She flipped her hair. What on earth is a curl of cheese? I only eat locally sourced salmon that my personal chef prepares for me on a silver platter. I laughed for real this time. Cut it out. And she wondered why everyone else at this school treated her like a social pariah. Not that I blamed her. She had too much charisma to stay silent like I did. It was one of the reasons why we'd become fast friends. Kennedy oozed confidence and strength, and I needed that. I needed her, because most days I was finding it hard to even breathe. Kennedy flipped her hair again. But I've never touched a knife before, so how am I supposed to, cut anything? I pay people to do that for me. I'm sure they know how to use knives. I'm not so sure, but you can ask the queen bee herself. Kennedy pulled her skirt back into place as Isabella walked down the hall toward us with her catty friends. I can't wait for the party tonight, Isabella said loudly enough for us to hear. Probably to rub in the fact that we were not invited. Hell, I hadn't even heard about it until this second. Nor did I care. I never had the luxury of attending parties at my old school because I worked all weekend. It would be the same here. Isabella's heels clicked down the hallway. She was a senior at Empire High, and she had all the notoriety of the Untouchables. But unlike them, she wasn't respected. She was feared. At least by me. I concentrated on zipping up my backpack, waiting for the incessant clicking to disappear. I'd only had one interaction with Isabella. Barely. She'd caught me staring at the Untouchables during lunch. I really needed to break that bad habit before it got me in more trouble than just a sneer from her. The clicking of her heels finally stopped. Unfortunately, she stopped right in front of us. I looked up from my backpack. There's a hole in your shoe, Isabella said to me. Or, more accurately, she said it through me. That's how it felt when she spoke. That she wasn't really talking to you at all. Just at you. Her friends giggled. I glanced down at my sneakers, even though I already knew what she was talking about. There was a hole in the side of my Keds where the fabric was ripping away from the rubber soles. I had enough money saved to buy new ones. But my mother had bought these for me for my birthday a few years ago. And any excuse to be closer to her was one I'd take. Don't listen to her, Kennedy said. She's just jealous that her legs only look good when she wears sky-high heels and yours look amazing in sneakers. Isabella snickered. I'd look like $1,000,000 in cheap kicks. But this school is a little too classy for such things, don't you think? I tried to stand up a little straighter, channeling Kennedy's energy. But I had nothing to say to Isabella. All I could focus on was the fact that my shoes weren't cheap. To me, $50 was hours and hours of work. To her, it was probably a fraction of an allowance. If rich people even got an allowance, she probably just had a credit card with no limit. You should just throw those ratty things out, she said. They're hideous anyway. Trust me, I'm doing you a favor by mentioning it, darling. My mother used to call me darling, but not in that way. My mother's voice was full of love and warmth. God, I missed her. I felt tears welling in my eyes. Well, don't cry about it, she said with a laugh that dripped with disdain. She didn't understand. How could someone like that understand? She had everything. All I had was a memory of my mother's love that was growing more distant by the second. An uncle I barely knew that